Good day, guys. Thanks for visiting That Journal Guy. My name is Richard, and as the thumbnail suggests, I'm doing a shout out as well as a thank you to all of my viewers for reaching a milestone on my channel, as well as doing a little bit of November planning with you. So, I recently, very recently, just broke the 200 subscriber mark on That Journal Guy, and I'm so pleased and really, really humbled by that. It's been kind of a steady, road on YouTube again for me. And I actually have another channel that I've stopped doing called Richard's Corner, during which I was actually sharing thrift hauls and Dollarama finds and all kinds of things. But it was very toy and collection based, and I stopped doing that because the growth in the channel just wasn't happening, and I was starting to lose interest because it was a lot of money out of pocket to buy stuff just to make content for the channel. So I decided not to do that channel any longer. And then I started doing a game streaming channel, which I haven't really kept up with. But this journaling channel seems to have helped me on many levels, as far as sharing my journaling journey and rediscovering YouTube as a media for me to, be out there. And I find that because I'm doing this, sharing my journaling journey with you, that it's keeping me with my journal. And the journal is more, as I mentioned in my last video, an integral part of my self-care during these unprecedented times. Though I don't want to really dwell on the pandemic and all this stuff. I really just want to say thank you for supporting me, and it's been a really good journey so far, and I'm really glad to be out here, and I hope that you guys will continue to come back for more. So thank you so much for that. I also wanted to do a shout out to Samantha. Now, Samantha did a really awesome video, which I'm going to card up here. She actually did a shout out directly to my channel, and she called me one of the more underrated content creators on YouTube, and it was really flattering to listen to her talk about my channel and talk about me as a content creator. And I was like, really? And I was like, I was kind of like, oh, like not embarrassed, but I mean, I was just like, I couldn't believe that she was just sort of sharing this really frank and honest opinion about my channel, and then that she thought that I was that she loved my content, and that she really wanted to spread the word, and she did so for myself as well as two other awesome creators as well. So we're all kind of just finding our way in this very large YouTube pond, I call it, and we're very, very small content creators compared to the bigger ones that have been around for a while. So Sam, I really want to thank you again personally, and I'm gonna also card up her channel. Please check her out. Show her some love as you have shown me love, because her channel is awesome. I just watched her November plan with me video, and she did this really cute Panda TV theme based on a sticker that she got from somewhere online. But it's so cute. I'm going to say, oh, I like the Panda TVs. And I don't know if it's something that you guys know about me, but I still love toys and stuff like that for a man of my age. I'm 48, but I still collect toys, and I'm still enamored by cute things, and even collect a few things here and there. Despite not doing my other YouTube channel, I'm still collecting casually, so to speak. So the Panda TV theme was really cute, and I really would love you guys to check out Samantha's video. I guess I'll card that up here as well. So just a lot of cards in this video. Anyway, so again, thank you again, my viewers, for checking out Richard's not Richard's Corner, sorry, That Journal Guy, and I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate having a means to share this journaling journey with you guys. So thank you. So enough of that. Enough about myself. Enough about the plugs. But I do appreciate your support. But you're here to see a little bit of journaling, and that's what I'm doing. So, continuing on with this this Michael's Dotted Journal, I actually started doing November, and I'm changing things up just slightly with my November spreads, as you'll see in my book here. And you'll see sort of that's very similar to October, but I'm also offloading a little bit of stuff by starting a new journal in November. This is my Fortnite official journal. I'm not a Fortnite player, and at least not religiously. So I don't I wanted to just buy it because it was actually a steal. It says it was a $22.99 journal at EB Games, but I think I got this for a whole $5, another $5 Friday fine. But you can actually find these at Dollarama now for $4. So the enamor of Fortnite has not lasted, and the overstock of all of these journals has now made its way over to Dollarama. So you can find this journal at Dollarama for $4. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to be using this as a gaming journal, and I'm going back to my spreads from my original journal, another Dollarama journal, to explore the gaming side of my journaling and finding new ways or rediscovering ways to track some of my spreads. And you've seen my October spreads for gaming. It's been a little bit hit and miss about that format, and I wanted to sort of use up the rest of this Michael's journal just strictly for the Bujo badge system that I'm using, and maybe split off my gaming, my playtime, recreational time, and track that in a separate book. So it is honestly an effort to start using up a little bit more of my journals, but why not, right? Like, I mean, I just want to sort of see how I can make it kind of like aesthetically, visually pleasing for myself, as well as one place for me to keep track of the things that I will be tracking as far as gaming is concerned. So yeah, enough about the blabbering. Let's see some planning, and let's go on my tabletop and show you what I have planned for November. Okay guys, so we have everything on the tabletop here. So why don't we put aside the gaming stuff and go into my plan with me for November. Okay, so you can sort of see that Monday the 26th, I'll be filling this out in a little bit, and we will jump into my November calendar page. So as you can sort of see, I might just compare that with my first October page. So in October, I was using this to do my Bujo badge summary, basically based on all the days badges and stuff like that. So at a glance, I could see what Bujo badges I had earned during the day, and I'll mark a card up here to show you again. If you don't know what my Bujo badge system is, I'll link that as a video for you to understand that in more detail. But so for November, if I lost my spot, so November I sort of switched up the layout a little bit. This didn't quite utilize the whole page, so I wanted to sort of see if I could use the entire page of this Michael's journal more fully. And so it does involve me moving the title from like right up to the top and not enclosing the boxes of my calendar. And I think that it sort of lends itself to quite a nice bit of space. So I'm now debating how I'm going to use this as a summary page of my journaling pages. So I was using this as a Bujo badge system and sort of a tracker, and then I was putting all my weather stuff on each of these pages individually. But I'm wondering, now that I've got this extra space, maybe I can do the weather in here as well as my Bujo badges, because now I've got this extra square and row for each of the days. Although I did have to make the first 5 days, these 5 days in the middle of the week are the same size, but the weekends are a little compressed because of the grid layout on this particular journal. So I think there's still a good symmetry to the calendar. I thought it worked out well. It's just black gel pen with a little bit of fine liner on the tops and bottoms of each box, just to give it a little bit of dimension. I'm not aiming necessarily for a minimalistic style, although this really does look minimalistic. So I like color. So I'm using metallic marker on top as well as fine liners to just give it a little bit of color, and this will pop even more when I start adding the weather as well as my Bujo badge at a glance. So I'm probably still going to use that as my Bujo badge tracker. And when we go into the actual weekly spread, you can sort of see what I'm doing. Now, I've actually, as I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to expand this so that I had more room, a little bit more room to actually do a journaling for each category. And what I wanted to do was make sure that I had enough space, and as well as utilize the space on this page. Now, the only way I could do that is for me to actually have two sections that were a little bit more compressed while expanding the other ones. And what I had to do was actually go through my October pages to sort of see which sections didn't require as much space as the others. And the ones that really took up space included my self-care and my family time, my work time, my intake sometimes, as well as my recreational and my spending. But household and Bujo time, honestly, I don't earn a lot of badges for Bujo time because all I have to say is that I did some Bujo time in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening when I have time. And quite honestly, with the days that I have been doing, like you can sort of see that I haven't really had a lot of time to Bujo, although there are some days where I write a lot, which is fine. But same thing with household, which I'm ashamed to say that my household badges, I'm not really putting in a lot of time into my household stuff, which I should do more often during the week. But because it's more bigger tasks and compartmentalized tasks, thank you, for trying to get a few things done cumulatively throughout the week. I don't need that much space to say that I've done laundry or dishes or cooking or cleaning or what have you, right? I don't do really big household projects. I do a lot of tasks, but the tasks only take up a little bit of room, whereas talking about family time and remembering certain parts of the day or certain things that I did to do my self-care or certain tasks that I accomplished at work, they require a little bit more time. See, in theory, I could have also compressed the food badges, the intake, because again, that's only like when I eat. So even with snacking in between, I don't really need a lot of space for my my food. But I decided that it's going to be one of those sections that I expand to utilize the page fully, and that'll lend itself maybe to adding maybe favorite recipes or more notes per section. So and I also decided to, if I can show you guys, you can sort of see a little bit of a line before the ending line of that section. So it's just a matching fine liner line to color coordinate. So I've inadvertently made this into a rainbow spread, which I didn't mean to do, but like as I said, I really like color. I just like seeing color on my pages. So it's subtle, but it's there, right? So it's almost like a little bit of a highlight color just above the black line that separates each Bujo badge section. So you can sort of see it for the first week of November. I've already got that set, and I've already got the lines and circles done for the remainder of the month. So that's actually quite an accomplishment, because if I go here, there's literally only 2, 4, 5 pages really. This 6 page is a bleed through page because that's all the testing stuff that I've been doing in my journal. So I use the back pages as test pages for a journal just to sort of see if ideas will work. You can see my spirograph testing and me scribbling with my pens to see whether or not they're working or not. So yeah, this is just, I can't really utilize this further than I already have. And I'm not sure if I want to use this page I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but since I've already got November basically paged out, like as far as allocating pages, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the remainder of this journal. So I did mention that I want to keep my gaming and stuff like that separate, and my other recreational stuff, right? So I'm going back to my original journal to look at some of the pages that I've done for gaming and stuff like that. And when I go through this, I remember doing a big Diablo 3 tracker, which was just basically an item tracker as well as a level tracker. So I do remember that. In my original journal here, I also did a watch list for Netflix. I actually found a way to print off the actual list of things in my list on Netflix, and then output it into Excel, and then print it off custom fit into this journal. So that was actually really, really cool for me to have in this journal. But as I've mentioned before, oh yeah, and I've also got season trackers for stuff like watching Star Trek: The Next Generation or Star Trek: The Original Series, which this is. So yeah, like I did all kinds of attempts at journaling, or sorry, tracking different kinds of recreational time, but not that it didn't work. But I kind of like the idea that this journal was like, oh, here's my movie tracker here too. So I like that the idea of a journal being just sort of like this, I'm just gonna put one page after the other, after the other, after the other. But I've always contemplated whether or not I really want to split it up into a separate journal and keep my active journal a journal only, and just to do my writing like this, and then sort of keep a separate book for some of the fun things that I do, so that it is in itself like just another kind of tracker. I'm going to actually open this here so that you guys can sort of see. Inadvertently, this is kind of a haul video because you can see a brand new journal that I'm cracking open here. Although I don't know. Oh, here we go. I don't have a weak point in the plastic for me to rip into. So I'm going to make one. Handy dandy pencil. There we go. All right. So the Fortnite journal, I was obviously attracted to this because at the time, Fortnite was still very active. So I've had this for a long while before this journal appeared in Dollarama. Look at the art there. So these icons here are basically the dance icons, like the emojis that people can do in Fortnite. So those are just dances. And there's a Fortnite logo as well as some of the art on the inside. And it's just a ruled journal. So there's no there's no watermarks or anything in there, and the lines are fairly large. So this is good for all kinds of game tracking, I think. So what I'm going to do, and then the same art is on the back, as you can see. It's a nice kind of a, I don't want to call it a rubbery finish, but it's got a nice tacky feel to it. So it's really, it's got a good grip to it, and and then obviously the strap, the rubber band, the strap will keep it closed when I'm traveling with it. So what I would like to do is incorporate some of my original spreads from my Dollarama journal here into this gaming journal. And because I've succeeded at doing that in this small journal, I'm pretty sure I can pull it off in this one. So although it's not a dotted journal, maybe you've seen some of my stuff with the Arc notebook system. Maybe I'll put that as a card as well. That I was playing with. Oh, look! Oh, there's a bookmark. Oh, perfect. I didn't even notice that. Okay, so I've got a bookmark for current status, right? So perfect. So I don't know. So I'm not really afraid of this being lined. There's a chance that I'm going to be pasting Excel lists like I did here into this journal. And if I look at the size, this is actually slightly taller than the Dollarama journal. So in theory, I should be able to do a little bit more in this one, but the lines are really big. So, and the grid here was actually fairly small compared to this. So we'll see how this works out. This is basically going to be another video. So stay tuned for this, because I'm going to start working on this journal in the coming weeks. So hopefully in a couple of weeks when I post again, you will sort of see that. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that is basically the gist of my progress with this journal from Michaels. With November already allocated in here, I've only got a few more pages to fill it up. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I just realized now also as I'm looking through this, although I did the labor to get the Bujo badge circles as well as the divider lines all in here, and I've just only started coloring the first week or so of November. I don't actually have a doodling or art section, so I'm wondering whether or not when I start doing my Zentangle attempts for November, that I'm going to either just sort of Zentangle in between the text and as the weeks go on, or if I'm going to just write and then do Zentangles in between lines when I have unused space. Because if you've noticed here in my October pages, there are some pages or sections where I didn't really do a lot. And I could theoretically use those sections for doodling, as I've done at the bottom of some of my pages at the start of the month here. So there is space for in November for me to potentially do some doodling, maybe even in my Bujo section, right? I mean, but there's no reason why I couldn't just doodle away throughout November, doing the Zentangle. And I'm going to give you like maybe just a sort of a picture of the cover that I found. This book at Dollarama, it actually has a bunch of Zentangle or Tangle ideas and patterns. I don't have pages of the inside handy right now, but I will be probably using it as inspiration to fill up the spaces, the white space in my journal. So it should make November look pretty interesting. So I'd like you to stay tuned for that. I probably won't post more about this spread until it starts getting used, but I would like you to stay tuned for my gaming recreational journal spreads as soon as I have some ready for you. So stay tuned for that. So I guess that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any thoughts or maybe suggestions as how I can use the last bits of my journal, maybe I'm going to do some collection pages. Maybe I'll do some inspirational quote pages. Maybe it'll be a gratitude page. I'm not sure yet. I will share that as soon as it's ready. Whether it's just on my Instagram or as a follow-up video, I will use up these pages and actually have a full notebook used from Michael's here. So stay tuned for that. So again, this is That Journal Guy, Richard here. Thank you again for supporting the channel, helping me break 200 subs. I hope that you guys can continue to spread the word about my channel, and I will continue to post new content as it becomes available. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to sort of clarify too. Sam sort of called me out on that, not in a bad way, that I didn't actually mention how often I post. So I will be trying to post every other week if I can, because it's really difficult for me to actually do these spreads live, like recorded wise, because I actually have my head really close to my page when I'm doing these spreads. I can't help it. I just can't see the lines very well. So trying to do it from a distance so that my head doesn't get in the way of the spread, I'm actually worried that the layouts might not actually work very well. I will do some testing to see if I can do some plan with me's, like actual plan with me's, versus just sort of sharing spreads after they're done. But yeah, stay tuned for that. This channel will continue to evolve as we go along here, and I'm really happy to share the journey with you. So stay tuned for more. Again, this is That Journal Guy, Richard here. Thank you for tuning in today. Journal on, as I always say, and have a wonderful start to this week. And yeah, stay tuned for more. I will see you in the next video. See you later, guys.